Previously on Session Sit-In. All right guys, so the first exercise that I'm gonna work with Matt today, again, remember we've been doing this for a little while, so I've progressed him a lot faster than I would in a normal situation for an 8-week post-op labrum, but he's doing so well that I wanna continue to force positive adaptations. So the first thing we're gonna do is use this high super band as an anchor, and this is a technique called reverse patterning. So essentially, instead of changing his shoulder blade position on the rib cage, we're gonna change his rib cage position on the shoulder and use this elastic energy to influence that upward rotation of his shoulder. So what Matt's gonna do from here, he's in this externally rotated position, he's just gonna go into a hip hinge, okay? And then I'm gonna have him actually concentrically retract that shoulder blade and then eccentrically control that upward rotation. This is why we call it reverse patterning, because typically overhead, right, this middle trap would be the eccentric contraction, and the concentric would come from his upper trap and some of these other upward rotators. So we're literally just reversing that muscular pattern, and the advantage to that is if you are somebody who gets painful overhead movement, this can be something that's different to your nervous system, and we can actually work in that range without having excessive discomfort. So we're gonna do about 6 to 8 reps, 2 to 3 sets of this. Nice job, buddy. So you're gonna retract, hold for a second, and then nice and slowly as you range all the way up overhead. Perfect, just like. Okay guys, so for the next exercise, we're gonna work from that reverse pattern. Now we're gonna actually pattern it the way it's meant to be done, right? So we're gonna use this foam roller on the wall. So Matt's gonna kinda get his hands, it's gonna start about chest high, and then we're gonna use a light mini band, right? This is the lightest one we have. This is gonna go around his hands and give us a little bit better cuff activation, okay? There you go, good, just like that. Okay, so the key to this is what I like to do is have, if he's a right-handed person, put his right foot forward, because that way he's sitting into his opposite hip, and we're gonna keep this rib cage down. This is the key to this, is making sure that we're keeping this rib cage down and that he's not going into excessive thoracic extension as he works up overhead. So what he's gonna do is gently push into that roller, and then as he clears his head, he's gonna sink his chest forward so that his shoulders come on either side of his head. And we're gonna bring it back down, nice and slow, controlling that rib cage. So the foam roller is forcing him to activate his serratus anterior, which is going to allow that shoulder blade to kind of protract and move forward. This is adding some challenge to his cuff, some of these external rotators. Bring it on back down. Nice job, buddy. Okay, a few more. So for this, we're gonna do sets of 6 to 8. Okay, this is a great way to pattern overhead movement. If you're gonna work overhead for that day in your training or your rehab, this is a really great self-limiting way to pattern that overhead movement. All the way up, all the way up, all the way up, and elevate. So you'll also notice that as Matt gets that foam roller to clear his head, he's actively elevating his upper traps, right? So he's getting those upper traps to pull those shoulder blades into that upward rotation, right? He's really shrugging it up, and you can see that great scapular delivery. Even through his t-shirt, you can see where that shoulder blade is living. That's gonna take a lot of pressure off his glenohumeral joint. So the next progression on this, we actually wanna get that middle and lower trap involved in the party too. So we're gonna do the same pattern. We're gonna get nice and close to the wall. Go ahead, Matt. He's gonna put his hands on the wall. So we're gonna get rid of the foam roller here, and what he's gonna do is work on keeping his rib cage down and then just lifting his hands up off the wall. Okay, that's gonna get that middle and lower trap to posteriorly tilt his shoulder blade while he's in this overhead position. Okay, so he could even pattern this one step further by going into the Y and then lifting it off. Matt, let's just show how we go into the Y. So again, raise it all the way up, shrug at the top, and lift it off. Beautiful, okay? So now we're getting that middle and lower trap activation. What we can do to really lock that in is take it a step further and actually add some resistance, okay? So what we can do here is use these handle bands, okay? And I'll demo first and then I'll have Matt show you guys. But I can go into this overhead Y slack on this band right now, and I can gently take a step and hold that position, take a step and hold that position, take a step and hold that position, and then come on back. Okay, so gradually increasing the tension that we're gonna throw through that functional line of that middle trap into his lat and his TLF and his lower back. So go straight up overhead. So rib cage down, buddy. Let's bring these out a little bit wider. Okay, so in terms of arm position, just imagine if you're gonna draw a line, that's where that stress is gonna go. So if his arm is more elevated, it's gonna go a little bit lower. So we wanna be at about 135 degrees, lock that rib cage in. Dude, we're taking tiny steps here. Okay, a little tiny step. And hold. How's that feel? Pretty good. Take another tiny little step back, hold. Another little tiny step, and hold. And now come on back. And hold, good. Come on back, and hold. So these are a progressive resistance isometric exercise. There's a lot of time under tension here, so you don't have to do a ton of resistance. A little bit of resistance through that chain is fine, because one rep of him walking back is gonna be about 10 seconds of time under tension, which is kind of what you wanna do for these postural muscles, because these are slow twitch muscles. These are not muscles that are gonna be powerful. These are things that are kind of switched on all day on some level. How's that feel, buddy? All right? Nice work. And step it back. Good. And I can even feel that tone right through that middle trap. Coming on back. Nice job, okay? So the next exercise we're working on with Matt is a bottoms-up kettlebell serratus punch with rotation, okay? So again, this is a progressed exercise. This isn't something I necessarily start him off with, but now we're working into an open chain exercise, right? So now he's not getting stability from the wall or the floor, he's having to create that stability from within his cuff. So what he's gonna do is protract and reach into protraction, and then what we can do is slowly internally rotate. So almost like he's turning a key, nice and slow, and then coming on back down around the other way. So what this is doing is giving his cuff experience in all of these ranges of motion, okay? It's one thing to do cuff strengthening exercises. That is fine for your rehab, but the bigger thing that you want to have is good motor control and be able to maintain the congruency between the ball and the socket. This is a really cool exercise for doing that, because this bottoms up position is forcing him to grip that kettlebell, which is going to give us better cuff activation here. And if he can control that articulation through his glenohumeral joint, he's going to be much less prone to future shoulder injuries. Nice job, buddy. Let's do one more. Nice job, dude. Push it. Keep it up, keep it up. And as he comes back to neutral, he's gonna really bring that down nice and slowly contract. Nice job, dude. Beautiful. Beautifully done. Okay, ready for the next one? Okay, guys, so the next exercise we're gonna do is kind of similar along the lines of the first one that you guys saw, the reverse patterning of the shoulder, where we changed his ribcage position on the shoulder. What we did with that one, though, was actually a traction force, okay? So we're actually distracting the ball from the socket using the band, which is very therapeutic on the shoulder. But guess what? Shoulders have to do more than that. They have to be able to have good articular control with approximation force or compressive force on the ball and socket. So what we're gonna do is a yoga push-up variation. We're not gonna go through the full push-up, but we're gonna do a similar, go ahead and go into that front plank, Matt. So what we're basically gonna do is now he's gonna really push his chest away from the ground, getting that serratus involved, and again, he's gonna sink into his hips, changing his ribcage position on the shoulders. This time there's an approximation force happening at the glenohumeral joint. Now if this is something that's painful for an athlete or a client, then I don't recommend doing it until you can introduce compressive forces in a pain-free way. Again, that is probably a little bit more advanced way. And retract. Again, looking at that good scapular delivery, right? Maintaining, breathing in that position, coming on back forward. And really pushing your shoulder, your chest away from the ground as you go. Let's go one more, Matt. One more to the exhale, push away. Nice job, dude. Take a big breath. Beautiful. Let's come on into it. Pushing away the whole time. Okay, so now we're working on scapula-thoracic control, serratus strength. We're compressing the glenohumeral joint, but we're also working on good cuff activation, getting some stability from the ground. Okay guys, the last exercise we're going to work on with Matt today is a half-kneeling landmine press. Okay, so the goal for this exercise is to put everything that we just did together into a full pressing motion. The landmine apparatus makes this a lot more shoulder friendly because it's allowing him to upwardly rotate and protract that shoulder blade. So what he's going to do from that half-kneeling position, right, he's going to lock in that anterior core. As he presses through, right, as he gets to that upward part, he's going to really reach with that shoulder blade. I'm giving him a little support here. This is the first time that we're doing this exercise. Come on back down that, right, control that shoulder blade, break the elbow, start to control from there. Beautiful. Okay, so there's no weight on this, just the weight of the bar. I know you could also add some bands to this to add an assistive portion. So the most unstable part of this exercise would be the most supported, but he's doing a really good job of controlling this. And obviously I'm spotting him with my free hand so that, you know, if he has any issue, I can give it assistance. Okay, come back down, let's do one more. Let's exhale and press, right? Keep that core locked in, right? Rib cage down, drive through, really reach. Come back down. Let's head off to the lab. Alright, do a little outro. So come on back in the lab with me, guys.
I think so. Did you have him doing the elbow? Okay. So going a little farther away.
Really challenging.
Yeah, like I felt the cup.
More taxed. Yeah, so we just bring it down.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I just wanted to say thank you guys for visiting me in the recovery lab. Thank you to Matt for hanging out with us again and letting us use you as a great demo. So this is another episode of Session Sit-In. If you like the video, please give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. It really means a lot. The support that we've gotten on the YouTube channel has been overwhelming. You know, we're definitely going to get back to doing more of these videos. We have some more planned down the pipeline. You can follow me on Instagram at MikeStella_ATC. You can follow AMP on Instagram at AMP_athlete. Definitely check out the website, ampathletes.com/recovery lab. Also, I just want to announce I'll be launching a personal website in the next couple of months. It'll be MikeStellaMovement.com, where a lot of my teaching tours and some of the content's going to have its own hub. But if you guys have any questions, comments, please leave them in the description below. I will get back to you. I will answer them. And again, I just want to thank you guys for all your support, and we will see you guys next time on another episode of Session Sit-In.